What if I told you that the most common exercise recommended for poor leg circulation after 60 might actually be leaving a dangerous gap? Not because it's bad, but because it's incomplete. As a surgeon, I see this pattern every week. People who walk faithfully every day, they elevate their legs, they wear compression socks, they do everything they're told, and yet they still struggle with cold feet, swelling around the ankles, burning pain at night, and a growing fear of falling. Here's the part most people don't realize. Poor leg circulation after 60 isn't just uncomfortable. Left unaddressed, it quietly increases the risk of slow healing wounds, infections, loss of balance, and a rapid decline in independence. The issue isn't effort, it's that one critical muscle pump responsible for moving blood out of your legs isn't being activated the way it needs to be anymore. Today, I'm going to show you 3 simple movements used in surgical rehab that take less than 10 minutes and directly target that missing piece, safely, gently, and effectively. Most people think poor leg circulation simply means cold toes or tired legs, but that's only the surface. Real circulation problems after 60 happen when blood can no longer move efficiently down to your feet and back up to your heart. As we age, arteries can stiffen, veins lose strength, and gravity starts to work against us. Blood begins to pool in the lower legs instead of flowing smoothly. This is where walking gets misunderstood. Walking is excellent for general health. It keeps joints moving and supports the heart. But walking relies mostly on momentum. Your foot hits the ground, rolls forward, and lifts again. That movement doesn't always create the strong, sustained muscle contractions needed to push blood upward out of the lower legs, especially after 60. The real driver of leg circulation isn't distance or step count. It's something called the muscle pump. In simple terms, certain muscles act like pressure pumps. When they contract deliberately, they squeeze the veins and force blood back toward the heart. When they don't, blood lingers in the ankles and feet, leading to swelling, heaviness, numbness, and reduced balance. This is why many people walk every day and still struggle. They're moving, but they're missing the muscle that actually does the pumping. And the good news is, once you know which muscle that is and how to activate it correctly, circulation can improve far faster than most people expect. Before we go any further, I want to be very clear about something. Walking is not bad. In fact, you should keep walking if you're able to. If you've been walking daily, wearing compression socks, or elevating your legs, you haven't failed, and you haven't been doing anything wrong. The problem isn't effort or discipline, it's that walking alone doesn't fully activate the muscle system that moves blood out of your lower legs after 60. That's why surgeons don't rely on step counts during recovery. We rely on specific movements that deliberately switch the circulation pump back on. In a moment, I'll show you 3 simple exercises we use in rehab. They're safe, low impact, and designed to work even if pain, balance issues, or fatigue limit your mobility. And we'll start with the gentlest one. We start with the simplest movement because circulation responds best when you warm the system up gently. This first exercise is called ankle pumps, and it's often the very first thing surgeons prescribe after leg surgery to prevent blood from pooling. The reason is simple. Even small, controlled movements at the ankle begin waking up the circulation pathways without stressing the joints. What makes this exercise especially valuable after 60 is that it can be done sitting down. No balance required, no strain, and no special equipment. Sit comfortably in a chair with both feet flat on the floor. Keep your back relaxed. Now slowly lift your toes toward your shins while keeping your heels down. Then press your toes into the floor and lift your heels as if you're gently pressing a gas pedal. That's 1 repetition. Move slowly and deliberately. This isn't about speed, it's about control. Aim for 20 to 30 repetitions at a time, 2 to 3 times per day. You can do this while watching television, reading, or sitting at the table. Many people notice their feet feel warmer and lighter within minutes. This movement doesn't replace walking, it prepares your legs so blood can move more freely when you do, and once the system is awake, we move on to something that also protects your balance. This next movement surprises a lot of people because it looks like a balance exercise. But after 60, balance and circulation are deeply connected. Here's why. When balance starts to decline, people naturally move less. When movement drops, blood flow slows. Swelling increases, confidence falls, and that's often how the downward spiral begins. What most people don't realize is that standing on one leg forces several muscle groups to stay engaged at the same time, especially in the calves, ankles, hips, and core. Those sustained contractions act like a continuous pump, pushing blood upward instead of letting it pool in the lower legs. Walking never creates this effect. You're only on one leg for a split second. This hold keeps the pump switched on. To do this safely, stand next to a chair, countertop, or wall. Place one hand lightly on it for support. Shift your weight onto one leg and lift the other foot just an inch or two off the floor. You don't need to lift it high. Stand tall, look straight ahead, avoid gripping the floor with your toes. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds while breathing normally. Then switch legs. Start with 2 rounds per side. If you need support, that's perfectly fine. Over time, try to rely less on your hand. This exercise doesn't just improve balance, it trains the circulation system to stay active, which is essential for preventing falls and maintaining independence. This is the movement surgeons rely on most when restoring leg circulation after 60, and once you understand why it works, you'll see why walking alone can't replace it. Your calf muscles aren't just there to help you walk. They function like pressure pumps. Every time they contract firmly and hold, they squeeze the deep veins in your lower legs and physically push blood upward toward the heart against gravity. The key difference here is the hold. Walking creates brief contact with the ground, but it doesn't keep the pump engaged long enough. A controlled calf raise with a pause does. That pause is what forces stagnant blood out of the lower legs and keeps it moving. To perform this safely, stand behind a chair or countertop and hold on lightly for balance. Place your feet about hip width apart. Slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. Now pause. Hold the top position for 3 to 5 seconds while breathing normally and looking straight ahead. Then lower your heels slowly, taking about 3 seconds to come back down. That's 1 repetition. Start with 8 to 10 repetitions. As this becomes easier, work up to 15 or 20. Always with control. Rushing removes the benefit. Bouncing removes the benefit. The hold is where the circulation change happens. This movement improves blood return, reduces swelling, strengthens ankle stability, and retrains the muscles your body relies on when you catch yourself during a stumble. It does all of that without impact and with minimal joint stress, making it one of the safest and most effective circulation exercises after 60. Now here's the part many people worry about: fitting this into daily life. You don't need to do all 3 exercises perfectly, and you don't need to do them all at once. Even 1 or 2 done consistently will make a difference. Progress matters far more than perfection. Ankle pumps can be done while sitting and watching television. Single leg holds fit easily into moments like brushing your teeth or waiting for the kettle to boil. The standing calf pump hold works well while doing dishes or standing at the counter. Altogether, this routine takes less than 10 minutes a day. If pain, fatigue, or stiffness limits you, that's okay. Use support. Move slowly, breathe normally. The goal isn't to push, it's to activate. Circulation improves through regular, deliberate movement, not force. And when these small actions become habits, the benefits compound faster than most people expect. What you do with your legs after 60 quietly shapes your future. The difference between walking confidently at 80 and needing a cane at 70 is rarely one big event. It's usually the result of small daily habits, either keeping circulation active or letting it slowly fade. Strong circulation supports balance, balance protects confidence, and confidence keeps you moving. That's how independence is preserved. These movements may look simple, but their impact is not. Done regularly, they help your legs feel lighter, steadier, and more responsive. They reduce swelling, they support healing, and they give your body the tools it needs to keep blood flowing the way it should. Walking is still valuable. Keep doing it if you can, But when you combine walking with deliberate muscle activation, you close the gap that causes problems later. Small actions today can protect your strength for years to come. Now I'd like to hear from you. Which one of these movements feels easiest for you to start today? Type 1, 2, or 3 in the comments below. We read every single one. And don't leave yet. The next video on your screen shows one wall-based movement surgeons now recommend for building leg strength, balance, and joint stability after 60. Most people skip it because it looks too simple, but the results can be dramatic when done correctly. Watch that next. It could change how you train your legs from here on out.